Hi, I read 10 viral BookTok romance books and let's see if they're worth the hype. So, let's start with A Touch of Darkness from Scarlett Sinclair. It's a Hades Persephone retelling. Hades, who's a Slytherin, and Persephone, who can still be sorted into Ravenclaw in this book, and we get to see how they fall in love and how things are going and stuff like that. But the thing is, this book is part of a trilogy, and I read this book and I DNF'd the second one, because in the second one Persephone gets really annoying. This book though is a solid read. It's like 3 stars. It feels a bit like fan fiction, not amazing fan fiction, but fan fiction nonetheless. And yeah, it was like 3 stars. I would reread this if I was in a really certain mood. So yeah, not really worth the hype, but it's also not horrible. The next we have is Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. Please, I'm sorry if I butchered this name, but Red, White, and Royal Blue. I've read this book years back. Red, White, and Royal Blue was, I remember back then, for me, quite a steamy read. I'm not sure I would still say that after reading fanfictions. Nonetheless, this is a 4-star read for me. I read it like 3 to 4 times. I love those two. Both of them have major Gryffindor vibes. It's about the Prince of Wales and the son of the president of America, and it's just a really cute book. Really cute. I love this a lot. So yeah, if you haven't, this is definitely worth the hype. Next up we have Heartless from Elsie Silver. And guys, I'm so sorry, but I hated this book. I didn't DNF this book. I actually sat through this. I read it in one go, but I hated it so much. I really did, with passion. The characters didn't make sense. I didn't like the love story because it was an instant love for no reason. He hasn't been in love with someone for a while. He hasn't even been interested in the girl for a while, or in a woman for a while. And then instantly he just saw her getting coffee ahead of him. They didn't even talk yet. He was just standing behind her and he was already lusting after her. It was just, this girl was so annoying. I couldn't identify with this girl at all. I want to say she's a Gryffindor, but I think actually she is a Gryffindor. But she was just really annoying. And also, like, I know what they tried to do. I get it. I get that they wanted her to be like this power woman who stands up for herself and speaks her mind, but she was just obnoxious and annoying. And there were these instances where she would go and tell the people off and be like, you do not talk to me like that. And she did that like 3 times in the book, and every time I was like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? And it was always in instances where I was like, yes, but he has a right to say that right now. Like, maybe he could have phrased it nicer, but also him saying that he has an issue with this is within his rights. Especially in the beginning, it's about her being a nanny at his place. He has a son. I'm not even sure how old the son is right now. He's between 5 to 10, somewhere in that zone. He's a small kid. And her best friend is supposed to marry his brother. And now he's looking for a nanny, and the best friend girl is now like, hey, I know the perfect fit for this summer. She can totally babysit your son. And then she brings her into his house and is like, hey, that's the girl I had in mind. And he's like, no. Because they already had this whole coffee place interaction. And he was like, no, this is the wrong person. I don't want this person to do all the things now. Like, we need to find another nanny. And she was stepped in and like, I don't care who you are, but you will not talk to my best friend like that. And I'm like, excuse me, like, he didn't even say anything. He was not like, wow, you are so stupid, how dare you. He just said no to this arrangement, which is his right. He can say no to this arrangement. No, this book is just, it's like a red flag to me. Like, this whole book is just, it gets my rage mode up so high. But yeah, guys, if you liked this book, good for you. I'm so happy you liked this book. I'm so happy for you, but I didn't. Please don't kill me for it. Alright, the next book we have is The Hating Game from Sally Thorne. And this book, I DNF'd the book, but to be fair, I watched the movie first. I watched the movie first and thought, that movie was not good. And it has not even bad actors in it. I don't know if you can see that right now, but it's not a bad cast, like, at all. But I was like, all right, this is not a good movie. Let's read the book. There's a book of it. It's a popular book. So it should definitely be good. It just wasn't. This book was, actually, my issue with this book is her. I don't like this girl. This girl was written quirky just to be quirky, and I mind that, actually. I mind characters that are quirky just to be quirky. I don't mind quirky characters. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people would say I'm quirky too. But if she has such a great Smurf passion, then at least make her talk about Smurfs. And I DNF'd the book, so maybe she ends up talking about Smurfs. So to be fair, like, I read this much, all right? I just read this part. And maybe she starts talking about the Smurfs in this part. So, to be fair, maybe she really does talk about Smurfs. But to me, this was like, oh, she's just this small, tiny, and cute, and full of passion, and she has this really quirky side to her where she collects Smurfs, and I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I'm not buying it. No. I also didn't like the writing style that much. I didn't feel the chemistry like they wanted me to feel it, and I just DNF'd it. But maybe I was already biased by the movie, which I can also say like that. Like, maybe I was just biased by the movie, and in a year or two, maybe I will love this book. But right now, I DNF'd it and I didn't like it. Okay, we have Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. Love Theoretically is a 5-star read. I actually don't have a copy of it at home right now. I'm still getting it delivered. I heard it over audiobook. This book was so cute. It's about Elsie, who is actually a physicist. She's a teacher assistant right now, but she doesn't get a lot of money while doing that. And she starts playing as a fake girlfriend to actually pay her stuff. And the brother of her fake boyfriend, they have amazing chemistry, like the brother of her fake boyfriend and her. And it turns out though that she's applying for a new job at MIT and she's really excited for it. And then that very same brother is part of the committee if she gets accepted or not. And it was hilarious because he was standing there like, what are you doing? Aren't you? I think she was a librarian, or now she's there applying for this job, and it was just so funny. It was so funny where you're sitting there reading it and you're like, oh shit, drama. And it was just so good. And it was a really cute hate to love relationship story. Elsie is definitely a Hufflepuff. She's very, very like loyal and giving. She's a little bit like, she just gives a lot, and people tend to use that, and Jack helps her with that also, like that she starts saying no, which was really nice. And Jack, the brother, he's a Ravenclaw. He's really smart, very well thought through, definitely Ravenclaw vibes, and they're just a really, 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 really cute couple. I love them. Alright, then we have It Happened One Summer from Tessa Bailey. I don't have a copy of that. I thankfully only read it online, and I just hated the book. I I really, really, really did. Guys, this, to be fair again, I ended the book. I DNF'd it pretty early on. Like, I DNF'd it like 4 to 5 chapters into the story, and she just is so stupid. This character, maybe she has a great character development and she's less annoying later in the book, but in the beginning of the book she was just really annoying and I just couldn't. Then we have Icebreaker by Hannah Grace, and this book was adorable. I love this book. We follow Anastasia, who's a Ravenclaw, and Garrett Graham, who's a Gryffindor. Their plot is so cute. His team starts practicing on her ring. She's totally freaking out because she has a big competition coming up. She's really stressed about all of this, and they hate each other. I mean, he likes her, he's intrigued by her, but she hates him a lot. Like, not even a little bit, she hates him. And those two actually start practicing together because her partner, he gets injured, and now the ice hockey player is like, oh, how hard can it be? I'll just figure skate with you. And it's just a really cute book. They actually have a really good communication. I gave this book 4 stars. For me, I already reread this. Like, I read this year in September, I think. And I've already reread this a few weeks ago. So I really, really, really love this. Also, this was like the first thing I read in this hockey romance section. So yes, it was cute. Then we have The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood, which is actually the first Ali Hazelwood book I've read, and this was amazing. This is a 5-star book for me. It's cute. We follow this guy who's a Slytherin. His name is Adam, I think. And we follow her, who's a Gryffindor. And this whole thing starts out with her wanting to prove to her best friend that she's not in love with one guy anymore. Because this one guy, she started dating this one guy. Like, they were just seeing each other. But they really hit it off, like her best friend and this guy. And she was just like, sure, just, I don't care. But the best friend was like, no, you know, girls code, I can't date him. But she really wanted to. And then she's like, oh my god, I already have a different boyfriend. Just go for it. And then she tells her best friend she has a date. But she didn't. She was just at the laboratory doing stuff. And her best friend actually also was at the laboratory doing stuff. And she told her she's on a date. And then she was like, oh shit, oh no, what am I gonna do? And then she passes someone. She doesn't even know who it is. And then she just walks up and kisses him. And she ends up kissing him. And it's just a cute read. It really is. You don't really have to take it too seriously. A lot of people are scared off because it says that, like, wait, where did I write it? It says that he's her professor, but he isn't. He's just in the same department, but he never taught her. And so it's fine. It really is fine. And then we have The Score by Elle Kennedy. And that's the 3rd book of the Off-Campus series, and I love the series. I really, really do. The Score is, for me personally, the best book of the 2 that I've read. It's about Allie Hayes, who's a Hufflepuff, and she's just going through a breakup and stumbles upon Dean De Laurentiis. And let me just say, I love the name. Dean De Laurentiis is such a cool name. Who's actually a real playboy. Like, he just has a girl every other day, or sometimes even 4 of them. Like, he's just a let's live life right now kind of person, which is fine, but she's not. And I love this because it's a he falls first romance book, and it was really well done. I liked this. This was actually one of the first he loves first book tropes from the book trope He Loves First that I actually liked. This was really well executed because it made sense. You can actually see him fall in love. and it made sense for them to fall in love, and it was just right. You would just felt it. And I love this. I gave this 5 stars. I really love this. And then we have The Deal from Elle Kennedy, which is actually the first book of the Off Campus series. It follows, what's her name? Hannah Wells. Exactly. It follows Hannah Wells and Garrett Graham, and she's a music major, he's a hockey player, and he needs her help for tutoring because he failed this one class test, very big test, and if he doesn't get his grades up again, he's not allowed to play. But he's the captain, so the pressure is on. But she's really reluctant to help him, and it's just really cute. I loved at the beginning of this, like him fighting for her to be like, come on, please teach me, come on, please help me. And she's like, no, this sounds like a you problem to me. And I just love this. I love this a lot. Also, like him trying to persuade her to tutor him, and he sends her like a topless picture, and he's like, how about now? And she's like, is that supposed to persuade me? And he's like, totally. I love this. This was really fun. It was 4 stars. It's a 4 stars read. Hannah, she's a Ravenclaw. She's really academically orientated. She's really like determined to do well in her studies and academics, and that was amazing. And Garrett, who's obviously a Gryffindor, like most hockey players are. So yeah, guys, thank you for listening. If you liked any of the books that I didn't like, I'm so happy for you. I really am. Amazing that you liked the book. And maybe you can even tell me why you liked it better than I liked it. So, oh, maybe you agree with me and you didn't like some of the books. Maybe you loved the same books like I did. Then we have the same taste, which is amazing. And yeah, bye.